So right here what we have is my little rendition on my sketch pad with just number 2 pencil of W.E.B. Du Bois. I chose him because I felt that he had a very good impact. I like this story, and not a lot of people talk about W.E.B. Du Bois. You know, he was very pivotal in the civil rights. As a civil rights activist, he's a co-founder of NAACP. He grew up relatively tolerant and integrated in an integrated community in Massachusetts. However, he went on to teach sociology at the University of Atlanta. So right here, what I have is just what I felt like some form of fellowship as far as education. My rendition of the amount of people that he influenced by teaching at Atlanta University here in Georgia. So I felt, you know, this type of picture came to mind. A bunch of strong black guys and women. There's a lot of women involved in it too. But, you know, just wanted to be a face of blackness as it pertains to Atlanta University. And this page right here, it just him again, how I envisioned him teaching one of his lectures at Atlanta University with the caption that's saying, "I am here to educate us as black people. It is important to know where you come from in order to know where you're going." Just something simple, but it's very important. Basically what that says is we have to know our history. A lot of times the answers that we're looking for will reveal themselves better if we know where we came from as a people. It's been a while since I color, but I had drew him, and so I did this picture because I was researching a lot of W.E.B. Du Bois pictures, and it was hard for me to find one of him in color. But I found one that had him in a position such as this. It was in black and white, so I kind of came up with the complexion as how I would think it will closely resemble how Mr. Du Bois' skin tone really was. I wanted him to be in some type of unique, you know, green suit. He had the prestigious mustache, of course, and you know, I just took very kindly to the portrait that I came across of him sitting, looking at us like the way he is. This picture right here is my interpretation of Pan-Africanism. He was very pivotal in that movement as well. As you can see, it's the Pan-African flag with the fist in the middle of Africa, with the traditional colors of red, black, and green. So the Pan-African flag, basically also known as the UNIA flag or Afro-American flag, Black Liberation flag, and various other names. The Universal Negro Improvement Association of African Committees League formally adopted it in August 13th of 1920. So this flag basically is those colors surrounded by the continent of Africa with the power fist in the middle. I thought quite hard to try to come up with a interpretation as to how I would exploit the idea of Pan-Africanism, and I just couldn't come up with none other than having a mixture of black men and women, you know, at their rawest form, you know, not with any type of particular clothing on per se, but more so themselves standing on the line of justice as it pertains to Pan-Africanism. They have determination in their eyes, and to put the young lady in the front of the formation, well in this rank, and just kind of give a, you know, different, we're unique as African Americans. We come in different shades, you know. Her shade is a little slightly different than the brother behind her with the beret, the classic beret with the Black Panthers, you know, such as, you know, the late great Huey P. Newton wore the beret. I wanted to put my rendition of someone in the crew having that beret on as a soldier. These are all soldiers for the cause, for the little kids. I did this page, it came up in my mind. I didn't finish, I ran out of time, but I didn't finish it, but I wanted to get a point across with the programming of the Negro mindset. What I've come across over the years is a lot of children in that era was told by a teacher that was probably not the same color as the kids on what their interpretation as to what the little African American kids should be, not what they wanted to do. So I had put this up here, the programming of the Negro mindset. Within the South, the general philosophy that has been developed since the Civil War was that if African Americans were kept ill-equipped and ill-educated, they would remain in their place in society. An educated boy, quote unquote, could become a danger. There was also a belief in some areas that African Americans weren't intelligent enough to even deserve an education. How funny is that? So the shadow of the Jim Crow cast itself over the education in the South during that time frame. The result of this was very much linked to the poverty most African Americans found themselves in. Without a good education, no one could advance themselves in Southern society. Therefore, a poor education basically guarantees a poor lifestyle for the African Americans. This little girl actually had something to say. She was saying she wanted to be a doctor, and I was going to do a response from the teacher saying, well, Miss Timmy, I think you should be a homemaker. Don't you think you make a good homemaker like your mother, or something like that? So basically, all these little kids have desire to be, and they're talented, but it's suppressed with self-limiting beliefs. But it starts with the education system from the era. So this page is the programming of the Negro mindset. So that's pretty much it. I wanted to keep it short, sweet, and simple on Mr. W.E.B. Du Bois because he was a very educated black man who happened to have been the co-founder of the NAACP. He was charged against racism, and he taught at Atlanta University here in Atlanta, Georgia, which is in the South, and which was very problematic in racism as being in the state of Georgia during his era.